India superior, boss. All right. You're an India superior. Ooh. Hey, welcome back, man. HaWah, HaWah, HaWah. Let's go, man. HaWah, HaWah, HaWah. HaWah, HaWah. HaWah, HaWah. HaWah, HaWah, HaWah. HaWah, HaWah, HaWah. HaWah, HaWah. HaWah. Oh, wow. Yeah. You feel that, man? You frequency it up now, man. That's the HaWah chant, man. Everybody learn that HaWah chant, man. We're going to be on the land. HaWah, HaWah, HaWah. Yeah, you know it, man. Last time we left off, man, they just gave a body bag for the illusion, right? That everything's connected back to Siberia when they're talking about the native India, or what they're calling India today, right? Modern India, and the so-called Native American. Not the Naga, right? I'm just talking about what they call native, right? All right. They think the Indians, right? Indians, right? Native American Indians, right? Founded the world. They just said, man, the cons here ruled the entire world. They said they ruled the whole world, but they're going to give it to somebody else. I mean, every time, right? They're going to bring it to modern India and act like folks from modern India colonized big dragon pants, India superior. they think people, hold on, man. I don't even see modern India on this map, man, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere. They think they came from there to big dragon pants, India superior. They think they ruled the world. We are right here popping off. We right here popping off in America, right? But you don't see no North America on this map. You see big dragon pass, India superior on this map, man. Height. In India, this means the Indios, right? In Hawaii. So, hey, we here, man. I'm just happy to be popping off with you. You know what I mean? Con drops corner, reading the book, man. It don't get no simpler than that. They say, Drop, what's your formula? I said, man, this nigga just sits there and reads a book, man. It's crazy, man. And I show you, I tell you pause it, I tell you read it, man. All right, so let's go. Like, Drop, man, just pop off, man. Just read the book. All right, I'm trying. I gotta let you know that I gotta let y'all know that you an India superior. You know what I mean? Like, you buy the book, you read the book. Don't tell me how to read the book. You came over here for the interruption to see how Drop reads the book, man. You get the book, man. I'm supporting the book. Gene Matlock from Khyber, Kheeber Pass to Gran Quivira, Grand Canyon, Gran Quivira, Kheevira is Heber. Heber is the Hebrew. Pause it. Heber is the Hebrew. Pause it. So when you sing Kheeber and they're putting a K in front of the H, I need you to lock in, man. Lock in, cuz. When you read these books, when you're digging on it, you need to put the K in front of the H sometimes just to see what they might be talking about. You need to take the K off or the C off, right? So when you take the C off of China, you got Hina or Hina or Hana, right? Or Kana or Hannah. Back to the Lady Hannah drop. Lady Hannah is the wife of Prester John, but it's another title, right? Sheba, Hannah, Queen Tamar, all these are titles. David, Davida, Dawida, Dawuda, Diva. My bad, man. I got sensor lights. If I get too still, if I don't keep the water flowing, it's it's lights out, man. I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep, you know what I'm saying? Bow, bow. Hey, man. All right, so we picked up on the Siberia drop. Pause it, man. All right, read it, man. I mean, pause it. When I say pause it, like hit pause, read it, and so we can, be aligned on what we're talking about. Therefore, if these Hindu myths are true, we should be able to find tribal groups in Siberia who have similar names and DNA with the Indian descendants of these ancient immigrants. The Siberian groups who fill all those requirements and more are the Northeast Siberian Aborigines known as the Yakutia, Sakha, Buryatia, and possibly the Kazakhs. The Kazakhs. Almost sounds like the Khazars, man. The Kazakh, the Caesar. C's and K's. They inhabit a member state of the Russian Confederation known as the Yukut Sakha. Back to the Ha's, man. And it is not HA for no reason, man. The Ha is the A is the breath, but let's go. Republic. Some authorities state that the Yukatia Sakha and the Buryat. Look, this is why I tell y'all to pause and read because these are some crazy names, man. I'm gonna do my best. All right, pause it. I'm gonna do my best. I want y'all popping off, man. You pause it and read it, you ahead of me, and you know what's coming. Some of y'all like, man, I want to see how Drop pronounces his name. I'm not gonna pronounce it now. I'm gonna do my best, man. All right. So we're talking about Siberia, and they're talking about like backtracking from, or reverse engineering, you know what I'm saying, from these natives in India or the Native American back to Siberia. This is what this author's breaking down, and this is how we know they not like us. They ain't like us. Hold up. Here we go. Drop some daddy daycare, pardon the interruptions here and there, man. But I told you I'm gonna be dedicated to getting some at least 3 or 4 drops a week. They say weak, we say strong. 3 or 4 drops of strong right from this book, man. And we're going to just really focus on this book. I know I got lots of books. We got hundreds of books, thousands of books. I'm just going to focus in, man. Drop's going to lock in. And I feel like by locking in, we're going to get the most out of it. And so we're going to keep choosing a book to get the most out of it. We have infinite amount of books, so we got infinite amount of drop, which means you got infinite amount of water to surf, man. Surf the wave with me, and I'm going to surf the wave with you, man. We're going to keep the water flowing. Let's go. So we're talking about the Northeast Siberian Aborigines known as the Yukatia, Sakha, Buryatia, and possibly the Kazakhs. They inhabit a member state of the Russian. That's why I backed it up. I don't want to move too fast. Because now how do we connect to the Russians and the Russians? We know what the ancient Russians look like. So just keep your dragonfly perspective. I'm gonna read it, and we're gonna come back because I don't want to keep interrupting. But you know what I mean. How do we get to the Rus, right? How do we get to the Rus, the Aran Rus? Well, let's go. They inhabit a member state of the Russian Confederation known as the Yukut Sakha Republic. Some authorities state that the Yukatia, Sakha, and Buryatia first migrated to Siberia in 1000 AD, but more and more evidence shows that they have lived there since Paleolithic times. The ancient Greeks and Chinese stated that they were indigenous to Siberia. We might have to dig on Siberia. We might need to dig on indigenous Siberia. We might need to stop letting them get away with claiming any areas on the whole earth plane. We can't even give them Siberia, probably. Let us start popping off, digging on Siberia and see what we find. We can be like, that's why they trying to connect themselves back to Siberia. They ain't even from Siberia. That's like the European saying they from Europe, and then we dig on it and like, well, Europe was ruled by copper-colored people, so oh, you were created, or oh, you were enslaved in Europe and were sent here to literally hijack us and get the gold, and then you became landlords, and then you tribed up with these other Moors during the Moorish Confederacy, right? 1787. On the headbone of Dragon Canoe in Chickamauga. Oh, okay. Oh, then Ishmael's migrating during the Ice Age. And that's when Antarctica freezes over. And that's when Antarctica freezes over. We're talking about frozen places like Siberia, right? We got to dig on Siberia. All right, all right, all right. But more and more evidence shows that they have lived there since Paleolithic times. The ancient Greeks and Chinese stated that they were indigenous to Siberia. It takes no exaggerated stretch of the imagination to see that these words, Yakutia, Sakha, and Buryatia, are nearly identical to those of the North Indian Yakudia. Yahudi. Sound like Yehuda, huh? Sounds like Judah, huh? Sakha, who he says are Scythians, pronounced Scythians or Scythians, which we connected before to the Ossets, the Ossetia, the Alans. You research the Alans and the Ossets, connected back to King David lineage, connected to the Georgian history, to the Bragantones. Yeah, man, we've been popping off on the genealogies when it comes to the David lines within the Georgian and the Rus and the Ossets and the Alans and the Scythians, because that connects with the Amazon queens. Yeah, see the Scythians, the Ossets, all that connects with the high Amazon queens. Queen Khalifa and them, you know. So all this is talking about Scotia, right? Even the Scythians is all like Princess Scotia, the Hebrew Hyksos princess. Scotia, Scotland is named after this princess Scotia. California is named after this Queen Khalifa. And then they cover it up and take the titles, and now they're the Caliphs. Now they're the Scythians. And the Bharatiya, the original dominant sons of India, Bharatiya. Bar is just son of, right? An India historian, Dr. G.V. Tagari, wrote in an outline article entitled India Outside India. Now I'm going to read what he wrote in the fine print. It's a letter. I'm going to do it, man. Praise HaWah. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this without any interjection at all, man. And then I'll come back. But I'm going to do my best. No promises, but let's go. All right, so this is what Dr. G.V. Tagari wrote in his article entitled India Outside India. Puranas mention Uttarakura as the northernmost part of Jumbu Dvipa, lying between the Northern Sea and latitudinal mountain chains of the Suragavan and Jarudhi. I'm gonna keep going. Let's go. But I need y'all to lock in. It's a grassy land, a home of wild horses. It is watered by a big river flowing northward in the Northern Sea. S.M. Ali has shown that the Saragavan is the Kara Tau Kyrgyz Ketman chain of mountains. Kara Tau. Lock in, my nut. All right. Chain of mountains of the Jarudi. And the Jarudi is the Kyrgyz, Zala, Ala, Tau, Ab, Ha, Tau, Ketman Range. A glance at the physical map of Asia shows that these two ranges often meet and merge in one range, the Kyrgyz Ketman Range. The big river is identified with the Irtish. If these identifications are correct, we can explain the rich forests and grassy lands of the ancient period when climatically the region was warmer. We was just talking about Atlanta freezing over. I was just thinking about, did Siberia just freeze over? Pause it. Read what I'm trying to read. Read what I'm trying to read to you, man. We got about 5 more minutes. I told you I'm keeping these 20-minute, 21-minute, 21 to 45-minute drops. I'm just playing. Let's go. The claim that Western Siberia is India outside India appears to be plausible on an anthropological grounds also. India outside India, boss? So the Native Americans are connected back to Siberia in different, schools of thought. And then you got these authors saying India once ruled the world and these Indians connect to Siberia. You kind of saying that the Siberia situation is ruling the world. Now he's going to connect it to the Rus. He's going to connect it to Russia haphazardly, like just throwing it out there. But we already know that the Rus is the truth, man. Like we already know that the Rus, you know what I'm saying, connect with. I mean, I told you I know. It's just in our face, you know what I'm saying? Ah, man. All right. So, again, the red thread. The red thread. Okay. Are the Rus. Are Kiev and Reus. Are Kiev, Clan, Seoul, and Dreis. Are where X marks the spot. The Rus, R-U-S. Are the Rus, R-E-W-S. Where X marks the spot. Because again, we're only talking about the lost tribes of Israel. Lost. I can't make this up. I can't make this up, man. So even in their Siberia flow, you just wonder how much they're connecting to the royals, copper color races found here. This is not a black website. You're not supposed to know about the red thread. You're not supposed to know about the red thread, my nigga. You're not supposed to know about the Hebrew language and that the X is the last letter of the Hebrew, meaning the covenant, the mark, the sign, man. Then they put somebody on your cross to hijack your mark, sign, and covenant. But this is the oldest indigenous symbol. It's 2 cross sticks, like the book of Ezekiel, 2 cross sticks coming back together for the northern tribe and for the southern tribe so that we could be one tribe. Just popping off. I'm just told you I'll try to read it without the interruption. The interpolations. Nah, man. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I tried. At least y'all see on record that I did try. You know what I'm saying? Clan Ross. So when they talk about Roos, you remember Clan Ross. Roos. Just like in Antarctica, they got the Ross ice shelf, right? What does the Roos have to do with Antarctica? What does the Roos have to do with Siberia? And why do we keep giving the hijack Siberia? It's easy to say, yeah, you're not from here, you're from Siberia. But did you research Siberia? I can't claim that I researched Siberia like that. I can't give these hijacks anything. I can't give them Europe. I can't give them anywhere. Benjamin Franklin said all of Europe is swarthy, so I can't give them that. I can't give them Russia because that's swarthy. And if Russia's swarthy, wouldn't Siberia be swarthy, guys? I mean, wouldn't it, man? Wouldn't the whole world be swarthy? So this is why they have you as the face of the Roots. Curly hair, copper colored, red, ruddy noggin, woolly head noggin. Why you gonna hate on this image? Why did every race and nationality get taught to hate on this image, right? Why are they hating on your joy, man? You know what I'm saying? Why they want to take the Nagas' joy away? Why they want to put these Nagas in captivity, these red, ruddy Nagas? Why they want to call us black? Do I look black? Do I look black to you? You want to call me black? You want me to accept this title? Forget my ancestry? Forget my heritage? Forget my bloodline? I should turn off what's being activated? Let's go. You came here for the interruption. I don't feel bad about it. You came here for the claim that Western Siberia is India, outside India, appears to be a plausible anthropological ground. The Yukuts, the natives of the land, are Mongoloid in appearance. They speak a language of the Turkic family. We know that the Turks connect with the Moors, same crescent. Let's go. Stay focused. Their folklore shows Aryan traces. We know that the original Aryans they're talking about are Negroes. Let's go. But the most supervising factor, or excuse me, the most surprising factor is the preservation. Preservation. My bad. I'm just still thinking about Siberia. The preservation in their blood of the Europoid antigen HLA-A1 in combination with another antigen HLA-B17, the unbalanced linkage in genetics found in Hindus of North India, as Igor Diakonov, a leading Soviet Orientist. What's an Orientist, man? We're in the Far East. All right, let's go. So he points out foreign invasions and migrations do not much affect ethnogenesis of the people. S.B. Boyeva of D.N. Anushin Research Institute of Anthropology does not deny the plausibility of this hypothesis, but, quote, a final verdict of the sources of ancient Europoidness. I can't, man. What's Europoidness? Have you ever read a book and you had to read this word? Europoidness is crazy word, man. This is crazy. Y'all just try to trip me up, man. All right, the source of ancient Europoidness in the anthropological composition of the Yukuts needs more research. Hence, I call this a hypothesis. Institute for Oriental Study, Thane, India. All right, so Dr. Ravindra Ramdas, another Indian historian, wrote in the same online magazine, Bharat had trade relations with Transcaucasia. Since very ancient times, there were Armenian trade posts in Bharat, and Panchatantra enjoyed enormous popularity in Georgia. Okay, Georgia, so much that the book was given in dowry. A Hindu temple, was built near Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan. The monasteries in Buryatia are of great importance to Indologists. Indologists. I guess people that study India. Indologists. All right. You see what I'm trying to bring. I mean, I didn't like to read until I realized I'm in this book. I am this book. So I gotta fight through all their jargon to see what the drop is. But here they get to the roots right here as we get to our dismount. According to the linguist Professor Oleg Trubukov, a whole series of names of ancient Black Sea regions can be explained by Indian onomastic data. For example, the locality near Kherson in the Crimea called Dandaka, the Scythian names Butunatos and Magediva, Butunata and Mahadeva. Remember, the Devas are the Divas. Right there, the Devas are the Divas, are the Dawis, are the Davids. They get the devas from the divas, and the V's used to be W's, Dawi. They turned to diva. Dawi, they turn the W's to V's, man, just like the Wa's the Vav's in the ancient Hebrew and the modern Hebrew. The Wa changed to the Vav. They turn the Dawi to divas. So every time you see this diva, Mahadiva, this is how we're just translating their Hindu flow, because all this comes back to indigenous Hebrew Americans, and I'm standing on it, man. We stamping it, man. Drop Nation, we stamping it, man. They're getting all their drop from us. The Chinese, the Hindu, the Japanese, all come from the indigenous American history or our story, and they took it over there, replicated our lands, tweaked the language a little bit, but all this comes back to the Hebrew. All this comes back to original vibration, man. Language is vibration, so everyone took our vibration, made their own incubator babies, and I'm standing on it, man, because it just makes too much sense. They didn't have time to repopulate and create some new race of this and new race of that. This was too recent. This is why they have to push our history back so far, because it looks crazy that you just turned into a whole nother group of people in the last few hundred years. When even the 1800s and 1700s was all Nagas, man. I mean, you're going to have to prove, you have to prove, not me wrong. You have to prove all these other PhDs. Like, you got to prove Benjamin Franklin wrong in 1751, saying the whole world is still swarthy in the observations of mankind. Europe is still swarthy. America's wholly swarthy. 1700s. So what happens in the 1800s? Who's invading us coming off these boats with Columbus and da-da-da? All Nagas, all these Portuguese. You ever see that, the painting of the Portuguese king and all this stuff? Just straight up Naga. Spain, swarthy, 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 man. So what happened in this last reset, 1800s and such? What happened after the Tecumseh War? That's why that war is so pivotal. Why we got to keep talking about it. While so-called Native American history, we're talking about ancient Hebrew indigenous history right here. Our story, our last priest king who made a stand, who wanted to unite the natives, have an all-native alliance, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? A pan-native alliance is really the alliance of Israel, the alliance of the tribes coming back home, man. Well, now it was the last stand of you, man. The tribes coming back home, man. Right here. When we talk roots and Russia, and you know how it connects with America, don't act like we're talking about some faraway fairy tale, man. You're still talking America, the land of Prester John. And this map is in the British Museum, man, in 1530. I can't make this up. You see the Strait of Anion, what they call the Bering Strait. On the other side of that is Russia. Is the Rus. Connects right with Anion, man. It's the same Nagas. Prester John, Imperator of the three Indias. Emperor of the world is King David. So that's why we got to keep reminding you who David is. It's not just a part of biblical history, man. That Ruach of David connects with the Ruach of Adam, the first man, the first son of HaWah, man. So firstborn son talking about David is the same firstborn son talking about Adam, like Adam and Eve. Firstborn son, same Ruach, same energy, same Melchizedek. Let's pop off for the dismount. Let's pop it off for the dismount. So we're talking about divas, devis, all right? The Byzantine, right? Remember the Byzantine Empire was taken out of 1453, 1 year after the 1452 Doom Diversus Papal Bull to take down all Saracens. And all we're talking about, when we talk about these Andrews, is the Saracen's head. Saracens, right? So read the 1452 Papal Bull and get back to me. When they talk Saracen, they still talking the tribes of Hasharah, Israel, right? I can't make this up, right? So let's talk Saracen. Let's talk Rus. The Byzantine, Bulgarian influence came to Rus via the territory of Ukraine. So what's this Ukrainian war all about, right? And stories of Barat and motifs of Baratia origin began to appear. The Lithuanians and the Latvians belong to the people of the Indo-European family of languages. Stories about the marvelous bird from Barat, the phoenix, right, the dragon, which lived near the sun city. Remind me of cities of gold, which lived near the sun city, what they call Heliopolis, were particularly popular in Rus, because the Rus is the truth. So they don't connect Khyber all the way back to the Rus. And who are these Rus, right? That hold the towel. Who are the Rus? The ancient royals of Judah and Jerusalem. We're talking about David. We're talking about, you know what I'm saying, Sheba and Tamar. We're talking about all the Georgian history that connects to your kingdom of Israel right here in ancient America, man. We're talking Kalaluz. Kalaluz means promised land. Yeah, we're talking Arizona. We're talking Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon. Let's go. So this marvelous bird, or Dracan, the phoenix, which lived near the sun city, were particularly popular in Rus. The physiologist contains many stories of ant lion, of the kite, which extracts the quick birthstone, easing childbirth of the mythical bird Strafil, or the ostrich. They speak of some drop. The romance, the romance is love to the Templar, what it do. Romance just describes a hero according to etymology. We're just talking a hero. The romance of Barlaam and Joseph enjoyed popularity in the 12th century Rus. And that 12th century is the same 12th century that Prester John is writing that 1165 letter to all the world, putting the world on notice right there in 1165, 12th century Rus. It is well known that the romance is a transportation of the legendary biography of Buddha, and the name Joseph come from Bat Hit Savia. I mean, Joseph to me looks more like Joseph, man. That's why we gotta check this author sometime. This is all for criticism, teaching purposes. Copyright 107. We're just reading, enjoying some content. So they want to make it from Bad Izavja. The romance tells of the prince's rejection of earthly blessings and temptations and his turning to a different, better retreat into the desert. The influence of the literature of Barat is also felt in famous religious verse Dove book, Golembinaya nigga. Look like nigga. They just put a K in front of the N, man. Nigga. Let's go for the dismount, in which are posed questions of nigga. Pose questions of cosmogenic character. The lines and some variants of the religious verse dealing with the origin of the people are particularly interesting. The rulers in our world come from the sacred body of Adam. Body bag. So all we talking about is back to Adam, man. All we talking about is back to the beginning, back to the origin, original man, original Nagi, original you, original tribes, man. The original tribes. That's all we talking about. the Saracen, the Arab proper, not the pretender. The lost tribes are being found right now through energy, frequency, and vibration, and keeping the code of HaWah. And that brings you back to your town, your mark, your sign, your monument that we can now build, because wisdom is the conqueror of fortune, and it's time to turn up, cons. I'm talking to the roost. Yeah, because the roost is the truth. It's been another reading, man, from Khyber, Kheeber Pass, Gran, Quivira, Kheevira, Kheevira, Kheevira. Bringing it back home, man, to India Superior, aka America, man. The ancient world that we are from, the ancient world that they just found us in. I love y'all. Stay up, suit up, choose up, keep the water flowing, keep the fire burning in my noggin, keep the cold. Halal HaWah.